Hey everybody, this is just going to be a quick video or videos all about styrene. A lot of people have asked me what I use in my shell modifications, and I'm always pointing them to styrene. It's great stuff to use if you ever get a hold of it. It's great for this hobby. A lot of other hobbies use it. It's mainly just a plastic. It comes in different thicknesses and it could also come in different patterns. This is the stuff I use. It is 1 millimeter thick, comes in 2 sheets. You can buy it online, you can also buy it in stores. The 2 brands that you can find are Evergreen, as you can see there in the video. Another one, which I don't have on me, is also called Plastistruct. A lot of this plastic is used for architectural engineering when they make models. It's also used in model trains to do a lot of that. Also miniatures, which is a fairly big gaming industry. So you can obviously find this in hobby stores, model train shops. Those are the 2 main places you can get it. Also online, which it's roughly about the same price online or in the store, so you'll have to find your price point there. But I'm basically going to go over the tools that I use, cutting and finishing the styrene, just so you can kind of get an overview of what it is that you need to do. Alright, so the tools that you need to work with styrene are pretty basic. You're going to need a knife. Make sure that it is a sharp knife. If the tip is dull, sometimes it can snag on the styrene. Sometimes you won't get a good cut. And the thinner the blade, the better, because then that way you won't have as much waste. If you're going to need files, these are called needle nose files or jeweler files. They usually come in a set of like 10 or 15. These are the 3 that I tend to use the most. This one here is oval in shape. That also comes to a point. Sorry, you probably won't be able to see the detail on these. This one has a flat edge and then a slightly rounded edge on the other side. And then this other one is just flat on both ends. And the teeth on these are really fine. You can also use just a regular file, but just make sure that it's a fine or a small toothed file. You don't want one with big teeth because it'll just rip up the styrene pretty quickly. And also a ruler when you try to make straight cuts. I tend not to use these type of rulers. My ruler is indisposed. Right now I like to have a steel ruler, mainly because when you're cutting wood and plastic rulers, sometimes the knife, if you go off on an angle, can ride up on the ruler and cut yourself. Steel rulers tend not to allow that to happen. You'll end up ruining your ruler and your knife before yourself, but that's always preferable. Also, just a cutting surface. This is just kind of a scrap piece of plastic that I got from a cutting board shop. I usually use a mat board, but that is also indisposed. When you want to cut styrene or just cut anything in general, you want to position your body directly over your knife, so that way you have the most control when making your cuts. You can also tell if the knife is at an angle, if that makes a difference, and you'll just have more control. If you need to move it around, then reposition the piece, cut, reposition, cut. Don't try to just move the knife out. That's a surefire way of cutting yourself or ruining the piece that you're cutting, and even ruining your ruler if that is the case. So try to just do small straight cuts when possible. The nice thing about styrene is that it is soft, so that you don't actually have to if you don't make it in the first pass, you don't have to try to recut and recut and recut. You can just literally make one good score mark and then snap it off, as I'll show you in a moment here. So let's see if I can get this done. You do want to press firmly enough to make the score mark, and with anything, you don't want to try to follow your lines completely. Just cut, leave yourself a little space between your final mark and the rough cut. and that way you'll just file everything down and you can get it nice and smooth. So let's see here, if I can get it in the light. There you can see the rough cut there, and then simply just kind of get your fingers near to the edge and bend and then snap it straight off. It's just that easy.